Praise the Lord. Let's hope this is working right and it comes out not cockeyed. If it does, I'll have to work on it. So, I feel like the two Ronnies now. I'm speaking to you today from... Well, I am speaking to you today from Terns at the Namaste group outside the summer house, and the reason I'm out here in the summer house area is because we've done something pretty extraordinary over the last few days. Essentially with the help of Jo, Tall Jo as I call her, Stammers, and Janet Medjimsey Holcomb, and today with Greg's help, we have achieved something quite remarkable in a very short space of time, a very short space of time. And whilst I'm not going to show you in there yet because we're still moving stuff around a bit, we've made incredible progress to create, and it is ready to go, a second healing space here at Terns in the summer house. Now the summer house was Mum's essentially. There were sort of defined areas when Mum was with us. Not strict, but, you know, kind of understood areas that she had and I had, albeit it was her house. And as I've said to a lot of people over time, it will always effectively be her house in my eyes, and I'm just the keeper of it, and I won't change that point of view. I wasn't in a good place some 8 years ago, and I moved down here and got myself sorted in many ways, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and all of that. And so just for the record, I haven't always been in a situation where I've got a remarkably wonderful house, remarkably wonderful gardens, and the opportunity that has presented itself to do what I guess I've always been called to do for a long, long time. And as I equally say to people, I don't actually have to be doing what I'm doing, but it's what I choose to do. I could tuck myself away behind the gates at Terns, see out Max's long life, and be quite content. And yet, would I be fully content? So, I'm doing what I'm doing here, and although it's not all about me, I guess I have to front it sometimes just to say to people what my plans are here. And you can either choose to join me and us, or not. Your call. Totally no pressure on. So we've done the summer house. Amazing amount of effort has gone in. Certainly today with Jan and Greg. And on Tuesday, I think it was, with Jo and Jan. So we're there, ready to rock and roll. And it is a huge turning point. And as I say, it was Mum's summer house. She never got the opportunity to sit in it because, to be fair, she had clutter in there with a bit of mine, and then in recent years I've added to it with a lot of pictures, artwork and whatever, and yet remarkably I've just made contact with an amazing art auction sale room down in Battle, and the guy who was so helpful back in the day when I had the heart attack, helping me clear what I had then, is actually there, and that's 15 years ago, which is amazing. It's all synchronous at the moment, it's all happening, it's all going on, as they say. So, if at any point I bore you, switch me off. This is for the benefit of the people who want to hear me and are interested to know what's going on. The plans, very gentle ones, the build it and they will come scenario. Kevin Costner in the Field of Dreams, that's what happened 4 years ago. Build it and they will come, and did they come? And they came very quickly. And we ended up with 25 people here one night, very few of whom I knew. They were newbies. And whilst over the last 4 years it's ebbed and flowed rather, we're getting another influx. And so I reckon in the next few weeks we're going to get about 50 people turning up here, which will be fun and entertaining. We offer here tutoring in, and I won't remember all that we offer. Angel Light, Angel Senses, Corinthians, Reiki 1-2 Master, Native American workshops, and the Journey to the Shawl by Jan. Our dear, I won't mention her name because she's asked it to be kept a little quiet, but there's one particular amazing tutor who I first saw on Channel 4 Dispatches, getting quite a lot of crap actually about doing children's Reiki. She will, by baby steps, be back with us. Hasn't been none too well for the last year or two. Absolutely amazing person who's multiple certificates, you know what I mean. We have such people in our zone that I wonder how long this video could go on for, so I'll try and keep it relatively short so the attention spans don't disappear. But there are people like, for example, John David Parker and his wife Monica, and I alluded in this to in the video yesterday, but John is actually just an extraordinary guy. He's a trance medium of a type that you're honoured to and blessed to know. Long and the short of it with John, and it's difficult to keep it brief, is that he channels Calling Bear, and he starts off speaking Lakota Sioux, and he doesn't know Lakota Sioux language, but I was talking to Jan and Greg this afternoon, and they are absolutely certain it is Lakota Sioux dialect, and then it moves into English so that it's more understandable for us humans, sort of thing. There's so much more to say about JD. I mean, he's been a platinum CD singer-songwriter, the Song and Trance Man. His alien spirit guide worked on my knees a couple of years ago, and the speed with which his tongue was moving around his mouth reminded me of a grey alien with the... You can't do that even if you try to move your tongue around that fast. So he was clearly being embraced by the spirit of some sort of alien, you know. It's absolutely amazing when you see it right next to you. There's no doubt of that. And certainly the trance work with Calling Bear and the connection with Great Bear within me, you have to feel it to believe it, and it's life-changing and incredibly emotional and very powerful spiritually, very powerful. From the moment he and I embraced after a radio show in a very normal man-on-man sort of hug, the experience of the touch and the hug of the human, but with the two spirits each in us blending at the same time, is beyond belief. We have folk like Simon Ludgate, who I met up at the People's Voice when I was assistant producer director with him up there on the People's Voice and the Psychic Clinic. This guy is just amazing, you know. He has contacts. He's an angelic practitioner, archangelic practitioner. He's a filmmaker. He does documentaries. His orb work is amazing. His book writing is amazing. His filmmaking is amazing. And documentaries that he's done, you know, he's at the top of his game and phenomenal. There is, of course, and I don't mean to name drop per se, but there's David Icke, who I class as a friend. And that's a bucket list thing for anybody, or certainly for me, because I actually got my hands on the guy and gave him healing 3 to 4 years ago, and I'm looking to reconnect again as soon as he's able. He's on a world tour at the moment, by all accounts, or preparing for one. There are people like Diana Cooper, who Simon is friends with, who I'd love to engage with directly with the angel lady Diana Cooper. There's Rachel Elnor, who's not actually directly associated with us, but oddly enough, we're at Olympia. I was at Olympia with Glynis a few years ago, and she was on the stall bang next door to us, and I was a bit coy about even approaching and talking to her at the time. But we've engaged on social media now, and this is Rachel Elnor from Dragon's Den back in the day, and the creator of Red Letter Days. Great to have her as a friend and a connection, and one day I'll get to meet her. This is not a name drop, by the way. It's just saying that there are some real phenomenons and luminaries in the field of spirituality, and some are known names and some are very powerful in their own right, quietly getting on with it. So back to here, and this could go on for a very long time, so I'll know when to stop and then do another one sometime, because I was actually going to show you the Namaste garden. I won't show you the summer house yet until we are sort of fully operational in there. But these are exciting times, really exciting times for some, if not many, and the ones that are awakening or are awakened. These are exciting times. Rachel Elnor alluded to the revelation is coming. Do you know what I'm talking about? If you don't, you don't. If you're not sure, look it up. There's also talk of the Mothership, which sounds very, very random, I know, but it's very real, and it will happen. I know not exactly when. There is the indigos, the indigo children who are very much our future, and the Native Americans, of course. The Native Americans will reclaim their lands. May not be in our lifetime or our presence right now, but they will. So, like I used to say on the show with Era on Virtual Vision, I found actually I could talk for England on the subject because it is my life and it is my thing. And so next time I'm on here, I'll write them down in order, because I could go on for a long time. And two, there are so many areas that fascinate me and have impacted on me. And what I've seen with my own eyes and what I've felt within my own body are undeniable. They're undeniable, and they are extraordinary, and they are truly miraculous. And that is the sheer thank you. There we go. Now you see, right at this moment, I'm being energized and feel it. So I always thank you, acknowledge it. And it's just starting to kick in. So maybe they're suggesting that I bring it to a close. That might be what they're doing. It is amazing to have such an awesome connection with the angelic and the archangelic realm, because they guide my whole life, and I am inextricably connected with them these days. And that is thanks to a messenger angel person down on this earth plane who brought them to me, or to the concept that I could actually communicate directly with them, which I was too modest back then or too humble to connect with them. So we'll leave the Namaste garden as a teaser. I was going to have a little amble down there, and although I'm on Slimming Worldish, I still get a bit puffy when I walk and talk, but I'm getting there, courtesy of a lot of help from some really good people. So God bless you all. The only other thing I want to say actually at the end is to touch on the Reverend Status, okay? Nobody really asks me very often. They probably just assume that I'm either a Catholic priest or a Church of England priest or a Methodist or something, but it's not of direct sort of significance in their lives. The fact of the matter is that I'm actually a reverend with the Universal Life Church, which effectively is an internet accessed status. But I did it for a number of reasons. One, slightly tongue-in-cheek, because being an ex-prison senior officer in the prison service, I was intrigued as to see what my ex-colleagues would think of it. And in fairness, no one has ever taken the mickey out of it. So that's cool. And the second one was that it made, for the purposes of getting the spiritual word out there, it made... I've never really been able to explain this properly because it's not out of ego, but it made... It's different to Ted Woodruff to be known as the Rev-Ted, and then up in the David Icke days, I got known as Father Ted, which is just very cool. It's just cool, but doesn't matter in the importance. I'm with the Universal Life Church. It embraces all religions and faiths around the world. So the beauty of this is that it incorporates Christianity, the Muslim faith, Islam and all that, the Buddhists, and any positive, Jewish, all of it, any positive religious and faith. So it's effectively an interdenominational one. And one of the beauties of it as well is that I didn't realise when I joined and was ordained, albeit in Modesto, California, but you can go actually out there and engage with it, because in America it is more recognised than in the UK for sure. There's a lot of Universal Life Church ministers out there, and they set up their own sort of things. The beauty of their ethos, if that's the right word, and I didn't know this until I read it one day on their website. I'm like, whoa, because I have said for many a year, independently of anyone else, that I do everything with the best of intent and without ego. And I live that. You have to live it, not just say it, not for an hour, not for a day, not for a week. You have to live it that way. Do everything with the best of intent and without ego. And whilst I know I've got a fairly strong personality, don't confuse that with ego, because I don't have ego going on. And through living that way, I have been given what I view the universe. I've been given the ultimate access to the most powerful divine energy that's out there. That's me. If I can guide people towards it and they want to know, then I'll do it willingly and gladly and quietly, delightedly, but that's me. Well, the Universal Life Church mantra, motto, whatever, is that one does everything with the best of intent and without ego. Hello. So, I don't walk around in a dog collar. I've got one, but I think, no, it's too pretentious, I don't need it. It's just works as the Rev-Ted, hey, you know. So that's me. I'm not dogmatic. I'm not a Catholic priest with all that goes with that. Necessarily, not necessarily. I am who I am, and if you want to get to know more about the group, and not just me, because it's a whole bunch of a lot of people, believe you me, have a look on Facebook, Rev-Ted Woodruff, the Namaste group. I've had a couple of website inquiries recently after a long while, and or the other people in the group, engage with them if you find them interesting. It is not all about me, it really, really isn't. I am just, as Lee Knowles took the mickey out of many years ago, I am but a facilitator, that's it. I am the face of, the front man kind of thing. But I'm a facilitator, so I will sit back and let it run around me. Let it go, let it happen. I don't need to be in on it all. I'm happy facilitating. Okay, I'm going to end it now because I could be rambling on a bit. Namaste. There'll be more. There'll be more. If this is some kind of vlog, so be it. All right, take care of yourselves and travel safe. Bye-bye.